Yo, YouTube, GK back, and I wasn't really going to do, those like typical reaction videos that you see, as I feel like a lot of them are, fake. So this video is going to be about Square Enix, a company, that I very much like. Their new game called Prototype. Which I'm a little confused at the name. I don't know if that's a placeholder name currently because, there is a game called Prototype from way back in the day. It was an action RPG. But this is the trailer for it. You're seeing in the background. We have a female lead main character, maybe, from the trailer is what it's saying. As you know, Square Enix is no stranger to female lead characters. And I have no, problems with that. However, with Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, I don't know how well the reception was at the time, but now, it's been lessened, and the main character of this game has been equated to lightning. There's references to some other games that are coming out, like Cyberpunk and Beyond Good and Evil even. And I'm kind of here to quell that a little bit and say that us as Square Enix fans need to stop being so one-dimensional in our approach to things that Square Enix releases, and so comparative with our favorite Final Fantasies or characters that we can't even let a new character being shown off in all her glorious the scene. It's just so, first of all, it's so beautiful, and the original concepts, and Ghost in the Shell, even there people were comparing it to. It's just not fair, because when you go in with those kind of expectations, you kind of lessen your gaming experience. For example, a title that is comparable to this that I am totally, disappointed about is from Software with their Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. No one's really saying that game is a ripoff of Neo 2 or Ghost of Tsushima. No one's really, it's not even so much bashing, but no one's making those kind of comparisons and saying those things outright in videos across YouTube. They're not coming in with those preconceived notions as we as Square Enix fans do, and I'm not quite sure why that is the case. Maybe you guys can explain it to me in the comments, but I just wanted to bring to light this game, because if you're unsure that Square can make games that aren't, mainline titles, well, go check out Nier Automata. That was a fantastic game, and I'm surprised that isn't even on the list of new games that deserve, a sequel or not, even though that was like the third installment technically. It's kind of an alternate storyline thing that was a little different. But we have another female character here who seems to be opposed to her, or some kind of twin or lover or something, as there's a lot of affection there. I kind of want to reverse for a little bit and go a little bit more breakdown, because I have seen the trailer, and we have like a Neo-Tokyo type of France feel with some old Japanese trees, some gargoyle-esque architecture. I love that theme and that era. Ghost in the Shell really didn't do that. Final Fantasy 13 really didn't do that. I hate that they're saying this is a reskinned Lightning. It's just distasteful in my opinion, but we have the classic Japanese culture, and we have blood and guts. Now, I don't know if much of you are paying attention to that, but this game most likely will be rated M for mature, and Square Enix has not dropped the ball on their M-rated games. If you checked out Final Fantasy Type 0 and Nier Automata, like I was saying, mature games, they do well. It's just they know how games sell as well, and when you're that big of a company, you're allowed to make certain choices that can give your game a teen rating. That is where Final Fantasy 15 kind of fell. They wanted to make it mature, however, with the mainline Final Fantasy title, they were unsure of how they could pass that rating off, and the game still totally sell outright. I don't mind the teen rating, but this I'm very glad is a mature rating. As you can see, it's technically impressive. I'd be surprised if it's not the Luminous engine, honestly, because that engine has showed it's totally capable of masterpieces. But how she comes out the back of the spider robot thing, she loses her arm and then boom, like she stops time apparently, or what we perceive as a stop time effect. But no, her movements are so fast and has some type of control that it's not really a stop time effect. They kind of burn up in flames as well. That's a classic Final Fantasy, almost a trope at this point, where the bodies don't really stay on the floor. They kind of disintegrate into something. But I love this feel. I love the grittiness of it all. She's a spider. They're all caught in her web. Really dope concept. And just to go online with what I was saying, that just because a game, space seems to be a new theme, as well as Japan, as two very big themes in upcoming titles, like the Beyond Good and Evil, the Cyberpunks, Ghost of Tsushima, Neo 2, just because multiple companies or studios are doing that kind of thing, it doesn't necessarily mean, they should be compared that way. From what I'm seeing here, it looks a lot different than Beyond Good and Evil does, and it looks a lot different than a Ghost in the Shell original run does. Yes, there are some themes that probably could cross over, but we have to give the studio their due credit, number one. And number two, not bring in our past judgmental selves into the conversation. The mask, so we got some identities going to be hidden, not just what the mask represents. Our character is somewhat in mental turmoil, as she goes down to her knees and starts to cry, blood all on her face. It looks amazing with that blood tearing down her face, and some type of archangel. Oh, she has the classic Square Enix dual eyes that are different. I've always loved the multicolor eye thing, as that is a real condition humans do have. She's being hunted for some reason. Oh, and you can see I didn't even notice that the first time. Wow, that is beautiful. And she just caused all that destruction. And the big reveal is they're on a space station. You wouldn't even have known that had they not panned out to this giant space station. That looks crazy, and Cyberpunk doesn't take place in space. I mean, Beyond Good and Evil does, but neither does Ghost in the Shell and Final Fantasy XIII. So I just want to stop seeing that kind of stuff, because it just goes to show that the fan base isn't ready to accept new things. I kind of talked about it more on my podcast, and I wanted to talk about it more here a little bit, but while watching the trailer over and over, trying to see if we can see anything new. But just graphically, the feel of it all definitely felt a lot different than those other games, on the simple fact that it's a Square Enix game. We can assume some things about the game. The quality of it's going to be A+. We're not 100% sure if... Oh, no, it is a mature title. That new Cyberpunk is definitely going to be mature. But again, that's open world. We don't know if this is open world. And not every game needs to be open world to be a good game. As personally, sometimes I'm getting tired of some of these open world games and genres. I mean, there's only so many side quests I want to go do. Like in this world, I feel like it takes forever to run around in, when you could get a Final Fantasy title back in the day that was linear, but you'd still spend 70 hours into it. So let's hold back our assumptions, Square Enix fans. Remember that why this company was something you had liked, and let's promote its growth, and let's not just call it a straight up copy or rip off. Or I saw some people commenting on the original trailer, oh, I love your new skin, Lightning. Lightning, Ghost in the Shell, Ghost Recon. I said Recon, but spin-off, and I'm just like, you guys, really? We can't appreciate a new title for a new character? It's just sad. And I want to start changing that perception a little bit with just open and honest conversations. about it. And let's talk about this and not something that you think it may be. That's all I pretty much wanted to say. The trailer is beautiful. I suggest you go watch it in its entirety without me talking over it. And if you have the opportunity, 4K, throw that baby on and enjoy it like I did, because there's some magic involved as well. And, that ice that shot up through her, she healed her whole body. I don't know any other games that were able to do that. That's for sure. Especially if this is our main character, which we don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited for this, though. I know my voice may not let it on, but I'm really pumped because Square Enix titles that come out of left field, that are rated mature, are great. And the best I can call it is Nier Automata. Just how awesome that game was put together. Yeah, the alternate timeline stuff, and a lot of people, have problems with that kind of thing, but I personally don't, because these directors are talented, and I'm just going to try to keep up with this game and see what's going on. I know it's probably a long ways off, as there's a lot of titles and a lot of things they're working on over there in that mega powerhouse that is Square, so I'm not too pressed to see the game anytime soon. I think that was kind of the downfall of us, is that we wanted 15 and we wanted it now, and it put unneeded pressure on the whole studio, as a lot of you people may have felt. So let's give this a fair and honest shot. Let's not compare it off the bat to games that either existed or are coming out, because from that shot of the whole space station, I got a real Star Ocean feel. That was my initial, like, whoa, is this Star Ocean? Like, what is this? And obviously it wasn't Star Ocean, but that kind of grandiose tech is awesome, with the slow shot in and of the butterfly caught in the spider web. Awesome visuals. It's a pretty long trailer, I might add, as well. And let's just appreciate this for what it is. I just wanted to talk about it and get the word out and show it a little bit, and try to get us Square fans to come to a new chapter in our approach to Square Enix, because it's really only us older fans that have such a biased, and I almost say negative, outlook on what Square does, whereas newer fans don't have that, and I envy them for that. And I'm trying to take my approaches differently, because but when I see comments that are just so jaded almost, I wonder where those comments for those other games that I mentioned, like Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. It's just a rip-off of a Dark Souls game, and they're taking the whole Japanese thing, which Ghost of Tsushima for the PS4 was the first one, and then Neo 2, obviously, it was good, and it's getting a sequel. But then you have Sekiro, and no one's saying, oh, that's just a clone of something else. That's just a Dark Souls clone that just happens to be from the company. So let's not call this a clone of other games from Square Enix, even. You know what I'm saying? Or not from Square Enix. And if we are, I want to see, the backlash for Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and call that out for what it is. But their fans aren't doing that, and for some reason, Square Enix fans are doing that. And I wanted to talk about it and open up the conversation as to maybe why. So go ahead, watch the trailer, enjoy it. Leave in the comments what you thought about the conversation we're having. I know I've been doing a lot more semi-freestyled audio talks on my videos. I really enjoy that. I definitely want to do like a 2 podcasts a week, and try to get situated in things. I noticed, and also some of the views are going up. They can only go up from where I'm at. But if you could, just hit the like or maybe subscribe, or really just comment so we can talk about it. I can guarantee you I'll get back to you. And we could talk about it, and we want to work together or whatever. We can do that, because I enjoy this YouTube thing. purely for the pleasure of it and making videos and talking about things I like to talk about. But I noticed I've been a little too Square Enix focused, so I will work on not being Square Enix focused. However, I was going to do a video, the unsung hero of Final Fantasy 15, where, you know, I plan it all out, get all the footage, and do it all that way. But I had saw this trailer yesterday, and I wanted to show it then on my channel and talk about it. But then, you know, doing some research, looking things up, and I saw those comments. It just really rubbed me the wrong way, and I want to start to stipulate and diminish that kind of behavior and language and overall thinking about Square. Let's try to change that and get more positive and get more supportive of our company of the game that we like to make. You know, like I said, I don't see those kind of comments from software fans. So let's not be those fans. Let's be better fans. And I know there's not much you can do to be better besides buying the game. However, giving the game a fair shot when the trailer just releases and it's already getting compared is just not all so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's all. I hope you enjoyed the trailer. Let me know what you think. Do you think you'll be getting this game? Do you not know enough about it yet? I'm GK, and have a good day.